Hi everybody, this is the Red Viking Princess. And this is my brand new channel. So I'm going to be bringing you stories. These are true stories and they are my stories. So I'm not telling you someone else's stories, and I'm not making any of this up. I have so many stories about things that have happened to me in my life. It wouldn't just fill up a book, it would be volumes. So I'm just here to share that. I'm probably going to be writing a book or books at some point. But the reason that I'm here to tell you a story is because I have been answering some people on YouTube that have either had comments or questions on other people's videos. And I seem to have incited a lot of comments and questions with something that I actually told people about, as far as one of the things that happened to me that I experienced. So I'm going to be talking about that today. Also, I wanted to remind everybody to subscribe and to click the little bell so that you know when I have something new out. You're gonna want to hear these stories. The other thing is, I am a naturopathic practitioner, so I'm a doctor. So basically, I will be bringing you great products as well, and I thoroughly check everything out before I actually will be talking to you about that. But it's so hard to go through everything if you don't know what's what, and my whole life has been wrapped up in that, so I might as well share it with you. So I will be doing that as well, and again, just bringing you crazy stories, maybe even a few dating stories, not sure. But that's a whole different animal in and of itself. I mean, wow. You don't need any fiction here. The truth is stranger than fiction anyway. So what I wanted to talk to you about was a story, something that happened to me. This was a little while back. I was married at the time. My husband and I were in a full-blown Christian ministry. And we were actually ministering quite a bit down in the Hollywood area. There were a lot of things going on down there, including a witch's coven that was next to where we were. I remember cords being pulled out of the wall when no one was there, things thrown across the room, heavy things. So just a lot of like spiritual stuff was going on. And that's, again, a whole nother story. I'm amazed that we're alive. I'll put it to you that way, because there have been so many things that have happened. And just as a side note, I have been saved at least 7 times that I know of from certain death miraculously. So totally different story. I don't want to get off on any of those tangents. But this particular thing actually, like I said, happened when we were in a full-blown ministry. And about 3 o'clock in the morning, we were both laying in bed, pretty much asleep. All of a sudden I felt something, like something was in the room. I kind of woke up, but I was still laying in bed. So at the very end of the bed, I saw this massive figure. It was a full moon that night, so I could actually see very well. It wasn't pitch dark or anything else. I could actually see this being. Probably, I would say, we had vaulted ceilings, so I would say at least 8 or 9 feet tall. I could see so well that I could actually see the look on his face and the lines and wrinkles in his face. He had a really, really sad look on his face as he looked at me. And he kept staring at me, and I didn't know what to do. He was hairy, he was brown fur that kind of come down. He was every picture of a Bigfoot that I've ever seen. And I used to really, really look at the Bigfoot and all these other cryptids, and I still like that. I still like reading about that, watching videos about these different beings and everything. It's so fascinating, you know, to think about all this. But saw that, and then all of a sudden, to my left, where my husband was sleeping, this little tiny, like a demonic creature, which was like a little ball almost, popped his head out. At this point, obviously my husband felt something, or heard something. I'm sure that I kind of nudged over at him. I don't exactly remember because it was very shocking, the whole thing. But he woke up. He saw this thing in his face, this little one. And we saw the big one. He saw the big one as well. And he saw the look on his face too, very, very sad. And in the name of Jesus, told him to leave. Poof, they disappeared. They went into another dimension. So the thing about it is, I understand that these things are shapeshifters. And a lot of other people understand this too. Talk to the Native Americans. They've always known that they're shapeshifters. So this is why they can appear in a very physical form and be very physical, but at the same time, they can disappear, which means they're in another dimension. Seems like people see them a lot more around the stargates, which are the portals, which can be opened by different frequencies. So UFO sightings are very plentiful around in the same areas too. I tend to believe that they are very similar. These grays, alien grays, hybrids, and I would basically tell you to look up L.A. Marzulli. He is right on with all of this. He has dealt with people that have had implants and everything else, and that's a whole nother deal, you know, with these aliens. And he also has knowledge, direct knowledge of the name of Jesus being brought up, and they will disappear and leave you alone. That also happened in one of the surgeries where they were looking for one of these implants and could not find it, because guess why? This sounds like it's from a video game. It was being cloaked. So as soon as they prayed about this in the name of Jesus, guess what? They prayed for it to be uncloaked, and boom, it came back, and they could actually see it again on the monitor. And they had been looking all over the place and knew where it was from before. But again, it was being cloaked. So pretty wild stuff. And you know, a lot of you people probably think, oh, this isn't true, blah, blah, blah. I think you should look into this, because there are so many times when this type of a thing has happened. I also had a friend who had a very similar experience, and I will leave that to the next one to do, because, oh, way over on my time. All right, talk to you later.